Shalom, shalom. Welcome to another Bible Basics. Um, Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. We got class Monday through Friday, Saturday as well. Tune in to our Friday and Saturday class. Those are our closing Sabbath class. You want to make sure you're there. Fire lessons or whatever. So let's get into it. We're talking about the sin of the tongue. Right? The sin of the tongue. Boy.
Man.
The tongue is powerful. The tongue is a powerful member. We use it every day on our day-to-day at work. We use it when we go about communicating with people, talking to various individuals. And, you know what the scriptures say. It's life and death in the tongue. That's where the power lies. Life and death. So let's get into it, man. Let's go to first of all, go to Sirach chapter 28 and verse 18. Let's get that first. We got to talk about this small member, because even though it's small, it's very, very powerful. Very powerful. Let's read that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 28 and verse 18. Many have fallen by the edge of the sword.
Many have fallen by the edge of the sword. You see, we've been through so many wars. We're going through war right now, right? Right. War in America, war throughout the Middle East, and then even back in the day, the war with the Greeks, the Romans, Babylonians, Israel, going up against many nations, right? Read that.
Many have fallen by the edge of the sword.
Many by the edge of the sword. Read.
But not so many as fallen by the tongue.
You see, as much as people fell by the sword, but it says there's more people that fell by the tongue.
Yes.
Why is that? There's one thing called verbal judo. Right. And you could use it. We're going to get into that a little later, but there's ways you can de-escalate situations. If we could talk it out and not go to war, and this is how a lot of the leaders dealt, besides the prideful ones. They used their tongue, and it was all out war. Like, forget you, I'm going to curse you out. Da, da, da. But if they could verbally talk it out and not have all these thousands of people killed, let's do that, instead of all of this bloodshed, right? So it says that many have fallen more by the tongue than by the sword, right? Wow. So let's get Exodus chapter 19 and verse 8. This is very important, dealing with Israel. I'm going to touch on different aspects. I'm going to talk about the women. I'm going to talk about the men. And then I'm going to just talk about how we deal as Israelites on the day-to-day when we go out and we go teach the people, how we can use our words and wisdom to gather people to the fold, right? Right. Let's read that. Exodus chapter 19 and verse 8.
Exodus 19 and 8. And all the people answered together and said, all that the Lord has spoken, we will do.
You see? So right here in Exodus is dealing with the children of Israel. And Moses is laying out the commandments to the children of Israel, right? So by us speaking these words, saying that, look, everything that Moses said, do, hold that, and get chapter 24 and verse 3. The people, the Israelites, our forefathers said, look, our forefathers and foremothers, they said, look, whatever Moses commanded us to do, or whatever he said, the Most High sent him to give us, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that. And guess what we spoke it with? Our tongue, right? We gave those verbal words. We're going to do it, right? Let's read.
Exodus 24 and 3. And Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord and all the judgments. And all the people answered with one voice.
They answered with one voice and said what?
and said, all the words which the Lord hath said, we will do.
All the words what the Lord has said, we will do. So they gave a verbal agreement and also a blood covenant saying that whatever the Most High tell us to do, we're going to do it without fail. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 16, because this happens a lot. And we need to be careful with this because it can offend people and it can lead people, to go away from the truth. So we gotta use wisdom in what we do. But we agreed, to the Most High. We agreed with him and said, look, we're going to do everything that Moses told us to do. We're going to do it without fail. Right? Read.
The book of Exodus, chapter 19, and verse 16.
19 to 16. Let's read.
Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people.
You see? So this was one of the commandments. When the children of Israel said, all the things that you said to do, we will do. This is one of the commandments. It says, don't go up and down as what?
As a talebearer.
As a talebearer. Who know what a talebearer is? You know what the talebearer is? Right. Somebody that's going up and down telling lies. That happens a lot, right?
A lot, whole lot.
A lot. It's a lot of people 6 feet in the grave because somebody lied on them, right? Let's even talk about in prison. We have a lot of so-called black men and Latino men in prison because someone lied on them. A lot of them, they go to jail because, they do heinous crimes and, wickedness or whatever. But let's talk about Bill Cosby. See? Them white women lied on him. Right? And then he served 3 years in prison. 3 years in prison. All because they stood up on the stands with their tongue and lied on this man. That's a sin, according to the Most High, right? So we got to watch what we do because people don't understand, like, when it's on the other foot, you don't want it done to you, right? Right? So let's read that scripture again.
19 to 16. Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people.
Among thy people. So we shouldn't be lying on our people. We shouldn't be saying things that are not true. It's crazy because I seen a video today on my Instagram story, and I reposted it or whatever, but the sister was basically saying, like, a lot of the sisters out here need to take accountability, and I'm talking about more so sisters in the world. You going to tell your brother, you going to tell your cousins, your aunties, telling half-truths, right? And like they say, niggas is out here dying. People getting shot over you over-exaggerating, right? A situation, now your brother, your cousin is coming to kill somebody. That happens a lot amongst our people. The power of the tongue is deadly because it just starts with a lie. Right? Let's read Proverbs chapter 26 and verse 28. Finish it.
Neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am the Lord.
Right? He said, look, we're not supposed to be shedding the blood of our neighbors. We're supposed to love our people. We made an agreement with the Most High. We shouldn't be using our tongue for wickedness. So let's read Proverbs chapter 26 and verse 28.
Proverbs 26 and 28. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it.
You see, a lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it. Right? You going around lying on people, you hate them. Yeah. Because you have no reason to lie on them for at all. Right? Man. Read.
A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering mouth worketh ruin.
A flattering mouth worketh ruin. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 21. So like I said, life and death is in the power of the tongue. We gotta watch what we say and watch what we do. Let's read that.
Proverbs 18 and 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue,
Death and life is in the power of the tongue. Read.
and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof.
You see, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof.
Yeah, love hearing that gospel.
Love
That's
hearing it. That's
Love
going
hearing
up and
all
down
that.
as a talebearer.
Right.
Right?
Right. They gonna eat it all up.
And then you got people who love lies. You know, you hear something from somebody, it's not even true. And you going around, you spreading the gospel, right? You spreading the gossip. You going around saying this person did this, and it's not even true. You putting a bad name on that person, right? And then if it was on the other hand, you wouldn't want nobody to do that to you, right? So we gotta watch what we do. Give me Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 23. So we got to make sure we upholding these commandments and not using our tongue for wickedness, but righteousness. Let's read.
Proverbs 21 and verse 23. Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul
You see?
from
Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue from what?
keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from troubles.
Keeping his soul from troubles. So think about it. A lot of times, we in a state of trouble. Our soul is in a state of trouble because of our tongue, because of the things we say, because of the words we speak, and because how we go about things. Right? Is that all? Keep reading.
That was it. 21 and 23. Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from troubles. Verse 24.
Verse 24. I think read verse 24.
Proud and haughty scorners is his name.
That was it. Give me Sirach chapter 5 and verse 13. So I'm a touch on something real quick. Let me bring something out. As I spoke on verbal judo. And we're just going to read a couple examples of how we could de-escalate situations and not, not have things be. Before we read that, you was getting Sirach chapter 5?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Get Sirach chapter 5, verse 13. Verse 13 through 15. Let's read that.
Sirach chapter 5, verse 13. Honor and shame is in talk, and the tongue of man is his fall.
You see?
Verse 14.
Go ahead.
Be not called a whisperer, and lie not in wait with thy tongue.
See, you're not called a whisperer. And lie not in wait with your tongue. Right? Read.
For a foul shame is upon the thief, and an evil condemnation upon the double tongue.
Right? An evil condemnation on the double tongue. So you saying one thing to one person and saying another, or you just speaking something. You saying one thing 1 minute, and then on the next token you saying another thing. You a double-minded man. You double-tongued. Most High said he hates that. Right? Was that it?
No, verse 15.
Verse 15.
Verse 15. Be not ignorant of anything in great matter or small.
Be not ignorant of anything in the great matter or small matter. So you need to examine the matter before you even open your mouth. Right. And a lot of times, Israel don't do that. A lot of times we go out and we just go in on people.
Yep.
And we don't even know the situation. We just start blowing the top off because we mad and we heard something and we just going off on people. And you mad, you just angry. Nah, because you did this and you did that. Da, 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 da. And the other person on the side like, look, that's not how it was. That's not how it went. That's not, nah, because you did. Bruh, that's not, I'm telling you, that's not how, can you listen? Nah, because the nigga won't do this and that. just mad because of what you heard. And then you did all this damage with your mouth. And as soon as you calm down and they tell you the story, you like, oh. You over there looking dumbfounded, ashamed, like, dang, I should have listened. And then a lot of times, even within our marriages, you know, in our relationships with our spouse, you know, I've done this, you know, in the past where I will see something or I will hear something and I'll be quick to react, right? I'll be quick to react to a situation when the scriptures say, like, you know, if you throw water on the flame, it will go out. But if you blow on it, it's going to keep going, you know? So, and sometimes it's better to not be hasty in saying things, you know, when it comes to your relationships. It's easy, like, sit back. Just sit back for a moment. You may be mad. You may be hot. You may be enraged. But, you know, you sit back, meditate. I'm not even going to go off right now, you know, because maybe he or she just going off right now, you know, and I'm going to just wait till they just calm down, and maybe I'm just jumping the gun, or maybe I'm just overreacting. So maybe I just need to chill, right?
No, that's real what you're saying. It's like what he's saying, like you don't want to react real harshly, you know, because you may have heard something, but you know when you hear something, you know, when the person that told you probably didn't heard it from somebody else, and they didn't hear it from somebody else. So by the time the story get to you, it'd be something totally different.
Right, calm.
You know, so like, so the thing is that when you hear these things, you want to always give a not harsh, even though you feel like you want to go off. Don't do that, because it's, you know, it may not be what it is. You see what I'm saying? You could turn away a lot of, escape a lot of bull crap. You know what I'm saying? It's I'm gonna get a precept real quick.
Go ahead.
It's in Proverbs 15:1. You know, it's basically just, you know, it's right on point with the brother saying, you know, and if we just take heed to these instructions, man, we can just, really escape a whole bunch of
facts. Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 1. A soft answer turneth away wrath.
There you go. Soft answer turneth away wrath. Real simple. Go ahead.
But grievous words stir up anger.
And that's what it is. Brother may be going through something in his day. He had a crazy day, and he need to hear one more thing, and you go off on him. Y'all end up in a gunfight over something that's probably not even true. Most likely, it don't even be true. You know, but that's what happens when people can't close their gate, can't control their gate. You know, that mouth.
Right.
You know. So,
good precept. Yeah, good precept. Let's read this, because it goes along with your scripture. Let's go into the aspect of verbal judo. So read scenario A and then read scenario B. So this is going to how simple communication can be taken the wrong way, or how you go about talking to a person in a situation, right? Let's read that.
Scenario A, officer. This is a restricted area. Visitors are not allowed. Subject, why? Officer, because that's the rules. Subject, this is a public place. I have the right to be here.
You see? So the officer is like, look, this is a public place. You shouldn't be here. You know, the subject is like, well, why? Why I can't be here? And the officer's like, because I said it's a public place and you can't be here. Well, he like, well, it's a public place and I could be wherever I want in public, right? Mm-hmm. Let's read scenario B.
Scenario B.
This is how you de-escalate a situation, or before a situation even get out of hand, this is how you go about it a different way in answering the person, right? Read.
Scenario B. Officer, good afternoon, sir. I'm Officer Jones with the state police.
You see? So the first thing he said is, good afternoon, sir. Right? Now you got the person might be having a bad day. And you just, nobody probably told them good afternoon or good morning the whole day. And you just lightened up their day. Good afternoon, sir. Read.
If it is okay with you, I would like to talk to you about the rules of the building which restrict visitors to certain areas of the complex without an appointment.
You see? He came with professionalism. Mm-hmm. Can I inform you about the rules that we have in place here so you can understand why, right? Mm-hmm. Read.
If you would like to walk with me back to the lobby, I would be happy to assist you with contacting your representative.
And then instead of going off on a person and you go about it this way, the person will be more inclined to listen to you, right? Was that it? Okay. That's all I needed.
That's a good point.
Right, so you come with a soft word, a person will be more inclined to listen to you.
Anyway, all right.
But if you come at them harshly, they probably having a bad day, you probably having a bad day, and then it's just all chaos after that, right? I had you at Sirach chapter 5.
Yes.
Let's get Sirach chapter 6, right?
Okay.
So this goes along with that, and we need to make sure that we're practicing, soft words to our people. And I know the scriptures say, cry out loud, spare not. There's a time and place, for everything, right? And when you read about Yahweh Shai, there's a way that he went about talking to sinners. And it's crazy because a lot of our brothers who go out and street teach, I would say they don't exercise this how they're supposed to. True Nation, we try to exercise it, the best we can. But one thing we have to do is follow the example of Yahweh Shai, right? That's right. He went hard on the Pharisees and the Sadducees because they knew the law, right? And they knew what they were supposed to do, but they were hypocrites. They were telling the people to do one thing, and they were acting like they were these holy men, but they were doing things in the dark and doing things in secret, right? But when Yahweh Shai approached the sinner, like the woman at the well, right, he told her, go and sin no more. He didn't go hard on her, right. Right. He didn't put her down, but he told her straight up, like, look, thou hast had 5 husbands, right? But he was real with her. He was direct. But he said, look, go and sin no more. He gave her a soft answer, and she was all right. So now the situation is up on her now. I forgave you, I made you. I let you understand. And now whatever you go out about, if you go sin, the blood is upon your head, because I warned you, right? Let's read that. Sirach chapter 6 and verse 5.
The book of Sirach chapter 6 and verse 5. Sweet language will multiply friends.
See that? Sweet language will multiply friends. What we do when we want to get a friend, right? Or when we want to get a spouse.
That's that Mac, right?
Right. You start macking. You give them the sweet words. You give them all the sweet words, baby. You beautiful. You know you beautiful. You look good. You smell good. You ain't gonna go up to her. You trying to get her? You kind of funky, huh? Kind of stink. Nah, you gonna come at her with the sweet words, right? That's right. With the player, the Mac, right? Read.
That's it. All right, I'm sorry.
Ali Kabar know about that. Facts.
Sweet language will multiply friends, and
right.
a fair speaking tongue will increase kind greetings.
You see, a fair speaking tongue will increase kind greetings. So whatever you put out is what you're going to receive. The way you talk to people, it's the way that they should talk to you. Sometimes it don't go that way, but in hopes, if I come at you the right way, I hope that you come at me the right way as well, right? Let's read Sirach chapter 19 and verse 6. Okay. So we gotta use sweet language to our people. When we want something, we use sweet language, right? Whatever we want. Yeah. We got our kids, for example.
Right on point, right? They a sweet talk.
Daddy, I love you, Daddy. Daddy, you the best. Right?
They know exactly the words to say.
They know exactly the words to say to get a cookie.
Ever. Yeah.
Daddy, you're the best dad ever. Mm-hmm. All right. What you want? Tell me what you want. I know you want something. I know you want something. Yeah. Go ahead, read.
Ecclesiastes chapter 19 and verse 6. He that can rule his tongue shall live without strife.
You see, He that can rule his tongue will live without strife. Right? It's crazy because, you know, for the most part, we come into this truth, and a lot of people are drama-free when they come into this truth, right? But in the world, we're not taught wisdom and how to move, you know, through certain situations. So we just use our tongue, and we go about whatever we want to say, whatever we want to do. That's what it's going to be. And then we live our life with strife, right? Read that again.
Right. He that can rule his tongue,
If you can rule your tongue,
shall live without strife.
you're going to live without strife. Because you're not using your words to offend people, right? You're not using your words to continue in arguing and stuff like the scriptures say. You give a soft word, you know, you're going to turn away wrath, right? Finish reading.
Right. And he that hateth babbling shall have less evil.
You see? And he that hates babbling will have less evil. Right? And that just reminds me of a story of Babylon. It's kind of, you know, to the right, but it says that all the people were of one language, right? And they thought themselves to build this tower to heaven. And it's crazy how we can use our speech in doing evil towards the Most High. So the Most High, he knew this. He was like, man, they understand each other, you know. And they're thinking themselves to build this tower, thinking that, look, whatever happened to our forefathers with that flood is not going to happen to us. So we about to build this tower, right? So they built the tower to heaven. And it was like they built it real fine, real nice, so the water wouldn't penetrate it or nothing. So the Most High, he turned their language into Babel, meaning that they couldn't understand each other. So they started to speak different languages, because if they would had, continued to speak the same language, they would have been able to complete that tower and try to fight against the Most High. That was Nimrod or whatever. So that's the power. That's the power of the tongue. When we come together, we can either devise evil, use our mouth to make wicked devices, or we can use our language to create things that's going to be fruitful to us and not evil to us, right? Build us up, exactly. That is. Let me see. Let's get Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 31. Proverbs 10 and 31.
The book of Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 31. The mouth of the just bringeth forth wisdom.
See, the mouth of the just bringeth forth wisdom. So a just man is going to bring forth wisdom. He's going to speak wisdom through his mouth, right? Read.
But the forward tongue shall be cut out.
You see, but the forward tongue should be cut out.
One way or the other, huh?
Exactly. Yeah. Right? So you speaking things you don't know, you speaking in haste, you're going to be cut off, right? That was 30. Read verse 32. Okay, yeah, read verse 32.
The lips of the righteous know what is acceptable.
You see? The lips of the righteous know what's acceptable, right? The lips of the righteous person is going to speak words of wisdom, right? We're not going to be harsh towards one another. We're going to make sure that whatever comes out of our mouth, right, we're going to make sure that we speak it in due season, and we're going to make sure that it's on point. That's wisdom, right? Because you can know everything in the world, but if you don't know how to come at people and talk to people and when not to say some things, you just go on with the wind.
That's real. Yeah. The lips of the righteous know what is acceptable, but the mouth of the wicked speaketh forwardness.
You see, the mouth of the wicked speaketh forwardness. In any given situation, they ready to just go off. But we wise in here. We saying we keeping the commandments. We saying we in the truth. We need to learn how to use our words with wisdom. let's go. I'm going to touch on, I just got a few scriptures for the women. Give me Proverbs chapter 31 and 26. Proverbs 31 and 26. No. Yeah, give me that. Yeah. Go ahead, give me that.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31 and verse 26. She openeth her mouth with wisdom.
She opens her mouth with wisdom. What was the previous scripture? Right? It says the righteous will speak with wisdom, right?
Right.
So our women are to open their mouth with wisdom, right?
Okay.
So our sisters got to understand that when you speak, you should be speaking words of wisdom. Our sisters shouldn't be out here acting haughty. You know, Isaiah 31, you know, stretch forth. Give me that. Isaiah chapter 3, and I believe it's verse 12. It says that our women are supposed to be, they're to be sober, right? Not given to much wine, right? Because what happens when you get drunk? You start to slurring your words. I know women who get drunk, and men too. But do the extras, you know, going far to the left, right? Yep. Let's read that.
Isaiah, 31:12.
Yeah.
No, 3. Isaiah, the book of Isaiah, chapter 3 and verse 12.
Is that it? No, verse 12. Hold that. Just hold that. Give me Sirach. Go to Sirach chapter 25 and 26. Sirach 25 and 26. Let's read that.
Okay. The book of Sirach, chapter 25 and verse 26. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off.
No, that's verse 26?
Sirach
25?
25, yeah, and 26.
25 and 26. I think I put the wrong scripture. Sirach. The wrong scripture. You can hold off on that one. Go back to Isaiah.
All right.
It's Isaiah chapter 3, verse 16. Let's read that.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 3 and verse 16.
All right.
Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks.
You see that? Y'all know what that stretched forth neck is, right? You can't tell me nothing, nigga. Don't tell me nothing, right?
Yeah.
You can't tell me ish, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's a curse. You know, that's not using wisdom, according to the Most High.
No way.
You just get that. So our sisters just supposed to use wisdom when they speak, you know, and it says that, you know, their words is going to strengthen the bones of their husband, right? And strengthen the men of the nation. What did our sisters, Deborah, right, Judith, right? They spoke wisdom in the ears of the people, and they encouraged Israel, right? These were mighty women. You're not going to get, you going off on men, it's not going to work. No, you can't come. Men are natural lions, right? We're ready to guard, we're ready to protect. So a woman coming at us with like a lion, it's not going to work. It's going to bump heads. So our sisters knew that. Our sisters knew to come with wisdom towards the men of Israel. And we won battle because of our sisters, because they encouraged us. They gave us that courage when we didn't have no courage, right? They spoke sweet words to us, right? I want to get that Sirach. I can't find it right now. So let's go to Sirach, chapter 7 and 14. Sirach chapter 7, verse 14.
The book of Sirach, chapter 7 and verse 14. Use not many words in a multitude of elders.
Go ahead.
And make not much babbling when thou prayest.
Make not much babbling when we pray. So when we pray, you know, be straightforward with the Most High, right? He don't want to hear that Christianity babbling, whatever they call the holy tongues. We know that ain't holy. That's a demon, right? So the Most High is saying when you speak to him, you use wisdom, right? Not much babbling, right? Let's go to let's get some examples in the New Testament. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 29. Let's read that.
Book of Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 29. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouths.
Right.
But that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers.
Right. So we shouldn't be using corrupt communication. Shouldn't be coming out of our mouth. But let us what?
Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouths,
right.
But that which is good to the use of edifying.
But that which is good to the use of edifying. So a lot of times, we like to be harsh towards our people, right? Using corrupt communication. Right. I see Israelite brothers cursing each other out, getting ready to fight, all type of foolishness. That's not edifying the people, right? Most High gave us a commandment to use wisdom and let not corrupt communication proceed out of our mouth, but use wisdom in edifying the people.
Right.
You know, not getting on camera, cursing people out and going hard. They ain't going to hear that, right? Because all they're going to do is curse you right back out. Some of our brothers don't realize that we're dealing with Israel. We're dealing with Israel. You know, Israel is a head case, right? Was that it?
Yeah, no. What's that at? Yeah, that's it. Oh, no. So it's not here. That it may minister grace unto the hearers.
You see?
So that's what we want.
That it may minister grace to the hearers. We want to give our people grace, right? The Most High gave us grace. He gave us mercy. That's why we in this truth.
That's right.
That's why we in these seats right now. That's why we have the ability to come up here and teach our people, because the Most High gave us grace. Right? So we want to give that same thing to our people. Yahushua gave us grace. He gave us mercy. But we don't exemplify that to our people. We don't. When we go out there and we try to teach them, when we try to gather the lost sheep of Israel, our words is not seasoned with grace and mercy. Our words is usually harsh to our people when it shouldn't be. Our people are sensitive, right? You could correct, you could rebuke people, you know. You give them a sharp rebuking, but there's a way you go about it, and there's a way you do it. And that goes along with verbal judo, knowing how to speak to people, knowing how to de-escalate situations, right? Knowing how to go about things, right? That was it. Let's go to James. Let's go to James chapter 3 and verse 8.
The book of James.
Barry died.
Book of James, chapter 3 and verse 8. But the tongue can no man tame.
You see that? It says the tongue can no man tame. Right, read.
But the tongue can no man tame. It is an unruly evil.
It is an unruly evil. When you get to that point where you can't even get to a person, you can't tame the tongue, right? Who fought this past weekend? I think it was it last? It was last weekend. Conor McGregor. Man, that Edomite. But that's an example of just foolish. He's a foolish man. But whoever's seen the fight, you know, the dude broke his ankle or whatever. And he was getting beat up most of the fight, right? So he didn't have nothing else better to say. Nothing else better to say. And dude said he was hot. He said, he told me, he said, your wife is in my DMs. Meet me at the nightclub after this. You stupid B, you whore. And dude was like, I think at the, you know, after they fight, they have a little press conference or whatever. He was like, the words that he said, he can't take back. Because whether it's in the ring or it's in the street, we going to get it in. He said, those are words that you just don't say to people. Right? That's pride. That's using your tongue for wickedness. You see that? He just spoke some words to that man. Talking about his wife. Wouldn't you be mad? Yes. Would you be mad? Somebody said that to your wife? You'd be furious.
Yeah, furious.
You'll be hot. You'll be mad. Like,
mad.
Oh, you can't talk to my wife like that, bro. So he was like, look, at this point, I don't care about the ring. I'll meet you outside, brother. I'll see you outside. And once I knock you out, I'm going to make sure my wife gets some lick-ins. Right. She going to get her licks in, right? Was that it?
No. The rest, we see James 3:8. But the tongue can no man tame. It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison.
Full of deadly poison, right? We know about snakes. We know about Komodo dragons. Yeah. We know about venomous spiders.
Man, right.
It is a deadly poison. What can poison do to you? Kill you within minutes, within seconds. Yeah. And you're done. Finito. Man, right?
How you stuck on just that frozen, huh? That's like when somebody say that unruly,
yeah, you stiff.
Unruly tongue, you
stiff.
Stuck in like just temporary insane. You're insane for a second.
You stiff, dead, tongue hanging all out. Right? Read that again. I like that one.
But the tongue can no man
As a matter
tame.
of fact.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, let's go to verse 5. Let's go to verse 5, and we're going to read to verse 12.
All right.
Yeah,
the book of James, chapter 3 and verse 5. Even so, the tongue is a little member, boast of great things.
You see that? It says the tongue is a little member, but it boasts great things. Right? Man, who was that? Nicanor. That damn devil. We know about Nicanor.
Wicked.
He used to stretch forth his hand and just curse Israel. Goddamn Israelites, we don't like you.
Y'all prospering.
Right? They cut that dude's head off. Off the tongue. Speak no more, sir.
No more, right?
Read.
Boast of great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth.
You see?
Verse 6. And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity.
You see? The tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. It's crazy because world wars, it could have been prevented by a simple conversation. But you know how leaders get. They want to show that they the big man and they the big boss, and I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Read.
And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity.
A world of iniquity. Read.
So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body.
See, the tongue defiled the whole body. Say the wrong thing to the wrong person. Right? Read.
And setteth on fire the course of nature.
You see? Setteth on fire the course of nature. Read.
And it is set on fire of hell. Verse 7. For every kind of beast and of bird and of serpents and of things in the sea is tamed, and have been tamed of mankind.
You see that? So the Most High is saying, look, everything that I created is tamed. I tame it all. The sun, the moon, the stars, the animals, the fish in the sea, I tame it all. Right? Read.
Verse 8. But the tongue can no man tame.
You see that? He said, I done tamed all the animals. Right? I didn't tame the lion in the wilderness. I didn't tame the bear. Right?
Man.
But the what?
But the tongue.
But the tongue. Read.
Can no man tame.
You can't tame that tongue. You can't tame that tongue. It's crazy. Because you be like, I ain't going to say nothing. Nope. I ain't going to say nothing. Nah, I got to say something. God darn it. I got to say something. And then you can also use it in righteousness. What Jeremiah said. Jeremiah said, man, it's grievous because I'm prophesying. I'm speaking about the Most High, and all I'm getting is cursing and everybody hating me. He said, I told myself I wasn't going to speak the words of the Most High no more. But he said I couldn't. I had to speak the words of the Most High. He said because it was fire in my bones. Right? All praises. He said I got to speak the words of the Most High.
That's right.
So we could use it in righteousness like, man, we could be on fire for the Most High. I got to speak the words of the Most High. Right? Read.
It is an unruly evil full of deadly poison.
See? We read that. Unruly, deadly poison. Read.
Deadly poison. Therewith bless we Yahweh, even Father, and therewith curse we man, which are made after the similitude of Yahweh.
You see? Therewith we bless Yahweh, right? Okay. Read it from the top.
Therewith bless we Yahweh.
You see? With our tongue, we bless the Most High. We give the Most High the highest praise. You know, we give him the glory, right? Read.
Even the Father, and therewith curse we men.
And we curse men with our tongue as well. Right? Read.
Which are made after the similitude of Yahweh.
Right? Read.
Out of the same mouth proceeding blessings and cursing.
You see? Out of the same mouth proceeded blessing and curses.
Right. Right.
What did we read at the beginning? We said we read the Most High gave us the opportunity to keep his commandments. And Moses delivered it to us. And we said we will do it. Right? And from there, we got blessed. We had our blessing. But now, we got a what? A world full of iniquity. World.
That tongue, right?
That tongue. It's the tongue. It's the tongue.
Man.
Go wash it out. Go clean it.
Right.
What your grandparents say? You go about cursing and stuff. I'm gonna wash your mouth out with soap. Right?
That's right.
I'm gonna wash that tongue with soap. Keep cursing. My boy Peasy. Peasy be on it. I love that brother right there. Yahquah. Yahquah. Come on. That's right.
Out of the same mouth proceedeth blessings and cursings.
Right?
My,
Yeah.
my brethren, these things ought not so to be.
Right? These things are not to be. Read.
Doth a fountain send forth the same place sweet water and bitter?
Right? Read.
Can the fig tree, my brethren, bear olive berries?
You see? Can the fig tree bear olive berries?
Right.
Right? Read.
Either a vine figs. So can no fountain both yield salt water and fresh. Verse 13. Who is a wise man and
That's all I needed.
Okay.
Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10. Right? So let's use our tongue, for wisdom, for knowledge, right? For sweet words. Let's read.
1 Peter 3 and 10. For he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil.
You see? Read that from the top.
For he that will love life.
You see? If you love life, do you love life?
Oh, yeah, I love life. Yeah,
A lot of people don't love life.
I love this life that I'm being in the truth with my family.
Come on.
You know.
I'm talking about the life that the Most High has given us right now. See, loving this life for us as Israelites, as woke Israelites,
Right.
we love this life because we get an opportunity to speak wisdom and knowledge to our people. We love this life because we have the opportunity to wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Right.
Because we have the opportunity to rehearse the righteous acts of the Most High.
That's right.
And come back into our culture, come back to the understanding of who it is and what it's like to be an Israelite, to be a true Jew, right? So we love this life for, of course, we hate it because it's wicked,
That's right.
because we going through it on a day-to-day, right? We get it from our jobs. We get it from each other when it shouldn't be that way.
Right.
We get it from every angle. But we love it. We take it with a grain of salt. Like, okay, cool. I'm going through this or whatever, but we love it because we know that this word is true.
That's right.
Right? And we know that we can use this word and we can use the words that we speak to edify ourselves, edify each other, edify the nation. Right?
That's
Read.
right. For he that will love life and see good days.
You see? He that will love life. The Most High said, look, love life. Don't go before your time. A lot of people go before their time because they don't know how to move through this world. Right? They don't know how to move in wisdom. They got loose lips. Right?
Right.
Read.
Let him refrain his tongue from evil.
Refrain your tongue from evil if you want to have, right? Read.
And his lips, that they speak no guile.
His lips, so they speak no guile. What did they say about Yahweh Shai? They said this man has no guile.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So how should we be? How should we use our tongue? How should we use our words? How should we be in speech? Right? Bro, Yahweh Shai gave us a perfect example.
Perfect, man.
We always got the cheat codes, but we never use them.
Oh, that's right.
Well, let's say we use them for wickedness, but we don't never use it when it's beneficial to us. We use cheat codes for everything else. Israel, we doing all the scamming, dark web, all the cheat codes and wickedness. But the Most High, Yahweh Shai, gave us the blueprint, the cheat codes of all cheat codes. His example, and we don't use it. and we don't use it. we gotta use Yahweh Shai's example, because as much as people say, you start to tell people, I'm spiritual, I'm with Christ, da 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 da. Right. And you see them doing something that's not according to scriptures, and you give them correction, and you all type of niggas, all type of B's and everything else. This is people in the truth.
So sad. That's true, though.
This is people in the truth. You correct them. You saying that you're Christ-like. You saying that you're spiritual. It's not about keeping the commandments. It's about being spiritual. All right, you spiritual. You say you Christ-like. Well, where's your examples? Right. Even the small things like wearing fringes. You feel like you above wearing fringes when Christ wore fringes? Right?
And what did Christ say? He says, be not ignorant in the small or a great matter, right? Those are small. Hey, them fringes, people think, oh, that's small. We ain't got to do that. Well, Most High said, be not ignorant. He's like, everything to it. Those little small things of the law, that matters. That really matters.
Con.
Con.
So we need to make sure we're using the blueprint, using the cheat code, right, using Yahweh Shai as an example to our lives and speaking no guile. Mm-hmm. Right? Read.
Okay. Let him refrain his tongue from evil and his lips, that they speak no guile. Let him eschew evil and do good. Let him seek peace and ensue it.
Right? So we need to seek peace amongst our people. We here in True Nation, we shouldn't be, we know we all got problems, right? We all got issues, and we're going to have problems with each other, right? These things have to happen to test our faith, right? And give us those little tests and those little testimonies when we get through it or whatever. But we shouldn't be speaking evil to each other. If we got a problem with our brothers and sisters, we don't need to go about tale-bearing. We don't need to go about speaking wicked words towards each other. We need to go to one another and talk to each other and use kind words of wisdom. And then when it's time to rebuke. When it's time to reprove. Right? We need to go about meeting each other with love. And love can be, look, brother, this is where you went wrong. Look, sister, this is where you went wrong. And if that person don't want to hear you, they got problems that they need to deal with themselves. And they need to come back, go examine themselves. Go in your little corner, go in your praying room. Go fast and pray. That's something that we don't do. Right. Fast and pray. Fast and pray about it. Instead of blowing the top off and using your lips to speak wicked words, close your lips. Go fast and go pray. Right. Let's go get it right. Right? That's how we should be. That's right. We should be kind to one another. Let's read. Was that it?
That's it.
Okay. Let's go to Job. Yeah, let's go to Job. Let's bring out Job real quick. Job chapter 1. Job chapter 1. Verse 6.
Okay. The book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present.
Read verse 1.
First one. There was a man, Job 1 and 1. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job.
Right. There was a man in the land of Uz named Job. Right. Go ahead.
And that man was perfect and upright.
You see, Job was perfect and upright. Right? Read. Right.
And one that feareth Yahweh.
He feareth Yahweh. Job feared the Most High God. And what else?
And eschewed evil.
He eschewed evil. Job hated evil. Right?
Right.
Read.
Verse 2. And there were born unto him 7 sons.
Skip down and read verse 6.
Verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan came also among them. Verse 7. And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth and walking up and down it.
Right? So the sons of God presented themselves to the Most High, and Satan was there with them, right? Read verse 8.
Verse 8, and the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like unto him in the earth?
Right? So the Most High is like, do you see my servant Job? Right? He said, there's none like him. Right? Read.
A perfect and upright man.
It said Job was a perfect and upright man, right? Read.
One that feareth Yahweh and escheweth evil.
Right? One that fear Yahweh and escheweth evil. Read.
Then Satan answered the Lord and said, Doth Job fear God for naught?
You see, doth Job fear God for naught? Read.
Has not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he hath on every side, that thou hast blessed the work of his hands?
So he said, look, Job only worshiped you because of everything you gave him. He got a hedge about his house. He got all these riches and everything. That's why Job hated even when he loved you, right? Mm-hmm. So the story goes about, keep reading. We'll just keep reading it. Yeah, go ahead.
And his substance is increased in thy land.
His substance is increased in the land. Read.
But put forth thine hand now and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face.
You see? He said, man, touch Job. Take all this stuff. He going to curse you to your face. He going to tell you, God, I'm cool on you, bro. Satan like, look, let me. So what the Most High say?
Verse 12, and the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, all that he hath is in thy power.
He said, look, I'm so confident in Job. Job is my guy. That's my dude right there. I mess with Job a long way. That's my bruh.
Right.
That's my main man right there. Right?
Right.
Read.
Only upon himself put not forth thine hand.
So you could touch anything he got. You could take his kids. You could take his riches. You could take whatever you want. You could, put curses upon him, whatever you want to do. But you cannot kill him. Right? Because you told me that he going to curse me to my face. Right? So don't kill him. Put him through some stuff. Let's see what he do. Right?
Right.
Read.
So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord.
Right? So Satan goes from the presence and he starts to do everything he can to Job. So Job is going through it. Right? Job, he took his kids, he took everything he had, right? He had sores on him to the point where the dogs is licking, all type of stuff, right? So let's see what his wife said. Go to Job chapter 2 and let's read verse 9. Right?
All right. The book of Job chapter 2 and verse 9. Then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thine integrity?
You see, after all Job went through, and his wife is seeing him go through all this stuff, she said, do you still hold your integrity, my boy? Bruh. You still gonna hold your integrity? Read.
Damn. Curse God and die.
She said, curse God and die. And I say, are women supposed to use wisdom? Wisdom, speak wisdom. At that point, she should have been building that man up.
Right.
She should have been telling him, Job, you see everything the Most High did for you. You got to keep going, baby. You got to keep going. Right? Keep reading.
Verse 10, but he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh.
You see? So Job was like, you're speaking as one of the foolish women. What was her words supposed to be like? Her words were supposed to be seasoned with grace. Right? Building Job up to recover. Right? It says, I believe that's the scripture in Sirach, where it says that when she speaks, she giveth her husband feeble knees. Right?
Yeah.
Feeble knees. Let me find that. But it says that she finish reading that. I'll find it.
Okay. That was but he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh.
Right? He said, you speaking as a foolish woman. Right? Read.
What? Shall we receive good at the hand of Yahweh, and shall we not receive evil?
He said, are we supposed to be receiving good from the Most High and not evil? Read.
In all this did not Job sin with his lips.
You see? In all this, Job did not sin with his lips. What did Satan say? Satan said, you take everything from Job, he gonna curse you to your face.
Right.
He gonna tell you, get on. Right?
Right.
But his wife said, look, you need to curse God and die. It says our women are the weaker vessel. So who did Satan jump into? It's a spiritual moment right there. That was Satan talking to that man. Right? So our women have to be girded.
That's right.
Girded with this word. On it night and day.
That's real.
Right? Because it says our women are the weaker vessel. That's who Satan, jump into and can use towards us. So we need to have our women be on point. We need to be building our women up so Satan can't enter them at all. And it starts with us. We have to make sure they're on point. Right? So it says that Job, he didn't sin with his lips at all. Give me Sirach chapter 26, and let's read verse 6. 26 and 6.
The book of Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 26. A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all.
Right?
But she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all.
Sirach 26 and 6.
Oh, 26 and 6.
Yeah, Sirach 26 and 6.
Sirach 26 and 6. But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman.
Right, read.
And a scourge of the tongue which communicateth with all.
You see that? A scourge with the tongue which communicateth all. So even our sisters with each other, y'all got to be seasoned with grace towards each other, right? Mm-hmm. And not using, we know sisters could go off real quick or whatever, but in that moment you need to realize this is my sister, and I need to use my tongue to communicate in a righteous manner towards my sister. Because, right, our sisters is not bees, our sisters is not all the things that we would like to say under the sun.
Right.
But we ascribe, our sisters supposed to be ascribing to be righteous women of the Most High. And we need to, our sisters need to conduct themselves in a way that's pleasing not only to the Most High, but to the nation and to the sisterhood, right? Was that it?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that was it. Let me get Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 18.
Okay.
Proverbs 12 and 18.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 12 and verse 18. There is that speaketh like the piercing of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is health.
You see, the tongue of the wise is with health, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said this recently. Also, with the words that we speak, we could put people in a place where they're stressed, right? We could put them in a place where, you know, they're depressed. So we don't need to aid in that, right? Need to make sure that we're giving those words of encouragement, and we're not stressing each other out with the words that we speak towards each other, because it says that, read that again.
There is that speaketh like the piercing of a sword,
right?
But the tongue of the wise is health.
The tongue of the wise is health. So it says there are those who speak it with the piercing.
With the piercings of a sword.
With the piercings of a sword. So that tongue can be like if it's grievous, like the piercing of a sword going into you, right? Mm-hmm. Read.
But the tongue of the wise is health.
But the tongue of the wise is health, right? Keep ourselves healthy in what we speak, right? It's wisdom. Get Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 2, 2 through 4.
Okay. Proverbs 15 and verse 2 through 4. The tongue of the wise useth knowledge upright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness.
Right? So the mouth of the fools pouring out foolishness, read.
The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good.
You see, the Most High is beholding the evil and the good, right? I'm almost done. I'm going to get a couple of more scriptures. Oh, you didn't finish it?
Yeah.
I'll read verse 4.
Verse 4, a wholesome tongue is a tree of life.
A wholesome tongue is a tree of life. What is that tree of life? That tree of life is everlasting.
Eternal.
It's eternal, right? Right? You can't die from that. Right? Read.
But the perverseness there is a breach in the spirit.
The perverseness is a breach in the spirit.
Man.
Right? So you speaking perverse things, this is going to breach your spirit. Right? Let's get numbers. Let's get numbers. So we got to make sure that we're using our speech and wisdom towards each other. And I'm going to end it. I'm going to end it with this one probably. Maybe. I got a couple of more. We'll see. Give me Numbers chapter 12 and verse 1. But so not only towards, each other, but we have to make sure that towards the Most High, right? Because like we read in Job, Satan took everything from me, and, he said that he was going to curse him, but there's ways where we can curse the Most High God too as well, right? Right? So that's one thing you don't want to do. Right. We talking about towards each other. That's big boss up there, Right. Let's read that. Numbers chapter 12 and verse 1.
Numbers 12 and 1. And Miriam and Aaron.
Not Numbers 12 and 1. Numbers 30 and verse 1.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that.
No problem. No problem. The book of Numbers, chapter 30, and verse 1. And Moses spake unto the head of the tribes concerning the children of Israel, saying, This is the thing which the Lord has commanded.
You see, this is what the Lord has commanded, right? The Most High commanded this. Read.
If any man vow a vow unto the Lord.
If you vow a vow to the Lord, right? Read.
Or swear an oath.
If you swear an oath to the Most High God, right? Read.
To bind his soul with a bond.
You binding your soul with a bond, right? Read.
He shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth.
See that? The Most High said, don't break your promises towards me. You swearing the oath, you speaking those words and saying that I'm going to do this. Right? Let's start with the children of Israel. We said that we was going to do all his commandments. We had blessings for a while. Now where we at? We cursed because we vowed a vow to the Most High, and we broke that vow. We broke that agreement that we had with the Most High. Right?
Good.
Read.
If a woman also vow a vow unto the Lord.
If you vow a vow to the Lord, read.
And bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in her youth, and her father hear her vow, and her bond with she have bond her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her. Then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she hath bond, her soul shall stand.
Right. So even when a woman vows a vow in her father's house, she's supposed to hold that vow. Right? Read. The Most High takes this very serious because we agree upon things towards each other. We say, okay, well, we're going to get married. Prior to coming to the truth, we didn't understand what it was to be a husband or what it was to be a wife, right? But now when we're in this truth, we now should understand what it is that is expected of me as a husband and what is expected of me as a wife, right? I'm making this vow as a woman to submit to this man, to be fully submissive to this man and be his everything and serve him in everything the Most High have me to do. I, as a man, will provide for this woman, will protect this woman, will teach, will lead and guide and instruct this woman and have her be the best woman that she can be. That's a man vow towards his wife, and that's a woman vow towards her husband. That's what it should be. Right? Read.
Verse 5. But if her father disallowed her in the day that he heareth, not any of her vows or of her bonds wherewith she hath bond her soul shall stand.
Right, so only her father can disallow that vow. And just to make a quick point, I know some sisters use that scriptures to try to get out of marriages that they did not prove. Your father can't say, no, you're not married to that person if you lay down and have sex with him. That is your husband, right? That was just a quick point I wanted to make, but go ahead.
And the Lord shall forgive her because her father disallowed her.
Right. Read.
This is good on your point right here. Yeah. Verse 6. And if she had at all an husband when she vowed or uttered aught out of her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, and her husband heard it, and held his peace at her in the day that he heard it, then her vow shall stand.
You see that? So even your husband, that's your head. And if he decides to disallow your vow, then he can do that too. So that goes to say that, yeah, when you under your husband, he could disallow your vows if you speak, or he can make it stand, right? Mm-hmm. But that's all I want. Give me Psalms. Give me Psalms chapter 34 and verse 13.
34 and 13?
Yeah, Psalms chapter 34 and verse 13.
All right. The book of Psalms chapter 34 and verse 13. Keep thy tongue from evil, and thy lips from speaking guile.
See? Keep thy tongue from evil, and thy lips from speaking guile. Give me Numbers chapter 12 and verse 1. That's the one that about Miriam.
Numbers 12 and 1.
Nah, I don't want that one. That's cool. I'm gonna end it with this one. Give me Psalms 140, 1 through 5. So, let's remember, as men in this truth, as we walk this walk, and we're out, we're teaching our people, we're in classroom, we're teaching our people, we're amongst the congregation and we're teaching our people. Let's be sure to use our tongue with wisdom. Let's speak with wisdom. Let's speak no guile. Let's show each other that we know how to move as a righteous nation, because that's what the Most High require of us, right? And this is as men, even men going out street teaching and out in them trenches, teaching the people in the hot sun, hot blazing sun. Make sure your words is seasoned with salt. Make sure it's seasoned with grace, and make sure you're actually edifying the people and not just on the street corner cursing people out, right? We want to make sure that we're exemplifying a righteous example of the Most High in Yahweh Shai, right? That's for the men, because it starts with us, and we have to be that leader, and we have to submit to our head, right?
That's right.
And also for the women, like I said, being that peace to your husband, and speaking words of wisdom and not popping off, but using your tongue to have sweet speech to your brothers, your sister, your leaders, whoever is going to hold you accountable, and just being good to one another, right? And also us as a nation, respecting the Most High God. And when we say we're going to put our best foot forward to do something, that's what we're going to do, and we're not going to slack on it, right? We're going to make sure that whenever we say we're going to do something for the Most High, we're going to do it 144%, and we're not going to slack. We're going to make sure that, the Most High look at us and be like, we want the Most High to look at us like he looked at Job, right? We want the Most High to say for us, have you considered Allah Kabar, right? He's an upright man, and he hate evil. We want the Most High to look at us like that, right? So as a nation, we need to put our best foot forward, right? And be that perfect example, not only to Israel, but to the whole world. Because that's our knowledge, and that's our wisdom, that's our understanding, right? Right?
That's right.
Let's read.
So the book of Psalms, chapter 140 and verse 1. Deliver me, O Lord, from evil men. Preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischief in their heart. Continually are they gathered together for war.
Right.
They have sharpened their tongue like a serpent. Adder's poison is under their lips.
Right. So it says adder poison is under their lips.
Man.
A venomous viper poison is under their lips.
Right.
So David is like, Lord, keep me from this. And the reason why David was able to say that to the Most High, David messed up, but he did all he can do to repent towards the Most High.
Right.
And we know that the Most High loved David as well, right? So we got to make sure that we set that example. And when we're moving uprightly and we're doing the things that the Most High will allow us to do, and we're not using our tongue for wickedness, we can speak how David speak, right? We can speak how Yahweh Shai speak. We can speak how Job speak, right? So let's remember to be that perfect example to our nation, and let us keep going. Let us strive for greatness and wisdom and knowledge to continue to wake up Israel, and so we could be back on top and rule forever. You got something?
No, that's it. I don't got anything, man. Just like brother said, let's just all just, man, move forward. Watch our mouths, everything that we say, because the scripture says every idle word that man proceedeth out their mouth will be held accountable. So that's one thing where, we gotta know everything we're saying, it can do damage or it can do good. Anything that come out your mouth. And you gotta remember, man, all this stuff that we're saying, it's being written. A lot of the stuff that brothers, we in this truth together, Most High is looking at that. He looked just like he did in the past. That's how they came up with their books, And this is gonna be our book, This last captivity that we living in America, before the Most High come redeem us out of here. This is, man, this is it. So let's leave here, man, with the best we can, with that big bang, knowing that we did all that we can do, So yeah, with that, that's.
For sure. So make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Tune in to all our classes. We got classes Monday through Saturday. Y'all want to make sure y'all tune into those classes. And y'all just stay strong and stay encouraged. Shalom.
Shalom.